Santuka Chai with Lucky. Thank you so much for sparing time to be with us. I am your host, Lucky Mbabazi. This conversation again is a needed one because we've received a lot of mail from women who are in situations that are really hard and they don't know how to manage it. How do you manage being a co-wife? Because sometimes we don't want to be that, but then we find ourselves in that position. How do you manage it, you as yourself? Exactly. Brian Semada is here, who is a sex therapist, people's management consultant. Ashlyn, Mrs. Mubiru is here. Ashlyn, let's get into it. You're a woman, you're there, you know you're married to one man, and then all of a sudden
there's someone who's making you a co-wife.
That's
my co-wife.
That's my co-wife.
One thing you need to understand, and we talked about knowing who you are first.
Yeah.
You need to understand, am I going to manage fighting this woman?
Right.
One. How do I want to relate with this individual? Because at the end of it all, if this woman is going to end up having kids with my husband,
right,
whose kids are going to be my children's brothers and sisters, we need to reach a level where we need to now know we have nothing to do about it. And it takes us women to know that it's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about the man. We take it and start laying blame on ourselves, and we start beating ourselves. Why did I do this? Why did I do this? But we're forgetting that even the other woman maybe was not told this man is married.
Exactly.
Now there are kids in the space. So the best thing to do is find time. And I would want to go and engage with this woman on a one-on-one level.
What is the conversation like?
The conversation is, because your kids are going to be my children's brother and sister.
Right.
Okay.
We don't want to create enmity, and that's why you find families are fighting. The children are fighting because the mothers have fed them with information that is not right. So why I would want to sit with this woman, I just want to let this woman appreciate who I am, understand that where she has come in is not a place for joking.
Oh, yeah?
We have to work together to ensure that we make money to grow this.
Okay, there are two scenarios. There are two scenarios here. There's where you're married and you do not know that there's another
woman
Somebody out there.
There's where you are the second.
The second.
So it's now managing from both sides. You're coming into a family that already has a first wife.
And you didn't even know there's that first
second
wife.
I think most challenges or most things that women who are second wives, find a hard time with is because you want to be first wife, but you are second.
Exactly.
So you disrespect the first wife, thinking that
She'll leave and you become the first one. You will always be second.
Exactly. And most cases they think that, just because he married a second wife, he doesn't love his first wife. No.
Exactly.
No.
It's never there.
Brian, is that the case?
It's never. But the thing is, a lot of second wives always want to assume top. Always.
Right.
But then the issue is, as a second wife or as a first wife who is now a core, you're two in the thing, the first thing you need to understand here, how do I feel about this situation? Don't get into a place of competition. Mistakes most women do in that space is start fighting.
For no damn reason.
Exactly.
That's why the man is there watching.
The biggest pain you can ever go through as a co-wife, whichever number you are, is starting to fight. A lot of women come to me and say, Brian, I want him to know that I am his wife too. I want her to know that I also take part of the story. Is the more you continue doing I want, you're always going to clash. My biggest threat to most women that I tell women, how are you going to threaten the other woman and then figure you out, is ignore her. Like, first of all, accept. Deal with the issue that I am a second wife.
Now I've known I'm second.
Or I have
First wife, or I have another.
Yes.
Acceptance is key. And then stop, when you want to actually enjoy this all right, stop fighting with your husband about it. Acceptance is key.
They will always go where there's comfort.
Unless he broke the deal.
Oh, okay, the deal might be it was broken by going out.
He went out and he's making me second wife. That's not what I signed out for.
Okay, the
That's
issue
not
is
what I signed out for.
in the process of us knowing where we cross over, how do we get over this? I actually tell women, never end your beautiful marriage because you got a second wife.
Would you
only end?
Would you end
That
you
your
married
first
a relationship with your
because of-
second husband.
That's another story.
No, it's not. Actually,
Would you?
Today we are dealing with co-wives.
it's the same thing.
I would not, but this is what I tell people. I mean, you're either in or you're out.
Right.
Me, Brian, I would not stay in that relationship because I'm a man. I cannot be there and taking a second husband or what.
So,
I am out.
okay.
So I tell women, how you feel about the situation, it's upon you. But if you're going to leave because he has gotten another woman, it's a different story. Leave for 3 reasons. Is he beginning to be disrespectful? Is he stopping being responsible? Is he now taking you to be the wrong, accusing you of
I'll
things?
tell you something.
Yes.
You've spoken about those things. You think that is the only big emotionally this person has been betrayed.
Yes.
Emotional betrayal that is done by men to a woman has been ignored for a very
A
long
long
time.
time.
And you will never know the TikTok points.
You don't know how
how to
badly
mend
these
it.
women hurt to a point of now wanting to do something really evil to another woman.
Exactly.
Why would you put someone's daughter in that position? And what makes you think because she's built as a woman, she's going to be as accommodating
As you think
she's
she
supposed
should
to
be.
be?
This is where it comes. This is where it comes to a point, and I tell them, what do you want for your life? If you have signed me, Lucky Mbabazi, I do not be in a relationship where we are 2. That's my no-no. The moment he gets another, I am gone. But if you choose to stay, then stay and be simple. Most people stay and then they start fighting. If you're going to
She
start,
has invested a lot of time.
exactly.
Thank you.
Now, if you have
Yeah.
invested a lot of time, the biggest way if you're dealing with a co-wife now, be at your peace. What takes your peace should be, how do I mend my relationship with this man that I don't clobber him at night? It's very important.
Do I want to
Let
mend?
me tell you.
Exactly.
Yes, at the end of it all, I want my peace.
Exactly.
I want to understand that what am I going to do that is going to enable me find peace?
Exactly.
First of all, I am going to ignore you. Because at the end of it all, you disrespected me by going out there to get that woman. Or you disrespected me by thinking, you not telling me that there is a woman in the house. I would probably jump. Yes, I would jump because right now I'm thinking, do I need this? Like you said, is this a space I want to be in? Because I am thinking, where do I go from here? And you look back at,
you're like,
at
how
what
things
you
were.
wanted to be and how things were. Because women stay for purposes of, I am going to fight and get this man away from her.
Exactly.
Or I am staying because
Or
of
I'm
my
staying
children.
because of my children. I'm
Now-
staying because he loves me more than he loves the other one.
Now,
So
there
that's a
are
lie.
2 scenarios. There's this woman who came and told me, Brian, my biggest problem is not, I would rather know that I have a second wife who is Mobidu, Ashley, second wife somewhere. But this thing, my husband, he is gallivanting everywhere, flirting with over 60
called
women.
community
It's
what?
confusing me.
Community,
And she says,
community.
Brian, I am. And
Community husband.
what is hurting me now is not, I would rather know I am dealing with the other woman in the other corner.
What are you dealing with in the
Okay, I would rather know
Why
that.
do you
I would
start
rather
dealing?
know.
Dealing.
I would
Why?
rather know that there is a woman, but me knowing,
you do
me not
what?
knowing there are many women. Because this is Brian, you can never trace me. I know he's sleeping around. He flirts with every girl, like he has 60 and above women that
Let me
he
tell
is
you
flirting with.
something.
But the issue is, most women, the mistake, this agent who came to me and told me, Brian, if you go behind your what's up? What happened to you? You're a beautiful woman. Number B, Muero Kamala. I mean, number B is brown. And I'm like, wait, you mean, actually, it's the husband who has started complaining to look at yourself. What's wrong with you? She had gone to one of the people in town to give her Zigo. And then Haji was the person, like, look at yourself. What's wrong with you? And it's like, go somewhere and find it. I don't want you to even think about changing color. And the guy said, oh, Brian, my number 2, that woman is Ramu Jodala. She's maybe
Because the man wants
maybe my husband went to her. So the issue is when you're dealing with your second wife or being a co, first of all, acceptance, like I said earlier, accept your part. Like what you said is don't start blaming yourself. No, when you're dealing, because we are talking about dealing co-wife, not the issue if you're not yet there, please don't plan going there, because there's no beauty in being a co-wife. There's no
but
beauty
there's finding out abruptly
that you are.
That
you're either a co-wife
or
or
there's
a co-wife.
co-wife out
That's
there.
also how do you
As
deal
it's
with
placed.
it is very important.
Stay sane. There's what we call neuroplasticity. Is your brain's ability to accommodate certain things.
And it's not for everyone.
It's
by
not
the
for
way.
everyone.
It's not for everyone.
If you feel like I am busting, there's this woman who's saying, Brian, I have lost weight. I actually feel like I can't sleep. I've lost sleep for the 1 year. Like, why? My husband has a baby outside.
Okay.
And this is why. Okay, for her the problem was not the baby. She said, how? We work in the same shop. We have a shop together. We live home together. This is what he said.
That's emotional
This is what he
torture.
said. He said, we live home together. This man, the only time maybe he goes outside away from me is when he's in the toilet. We live together, back home together. We work in the same shop. And I said, Brian, my problem is, how did he go out? Where and when?
But let me tell you, and it comes from loving yourself.
Exactly.
See, I love myself way
Too much.
to worry about another woman. First of all,
and
me,
why.
to be honest with you, another woman wouldn't be my problem.
Exactly.
That's your problem, Brian.
Exactly.
If you wake up in the morning and you decide you want to get married, Bambi, deal with your thing.
Deal
That
with
is your
buli
issue.
muziko kondo yayi.
It is not my problem. My worry would be now, my children. I am not going to worry about you. You have another woman to worry about you. Don't even expect me to worry
Yes.
about you. Now that you thought you needed another woman, that woman will worry about you. You will be there. You're the father of my children. We've had a history. That's not going to change. We might even continue living in the house. Will I be miserable? No. You know why? Because I love myself. See, my happiness does not entirely
Depend on
you. The
and whatever
problem
you
we
do.
have with people, especially women, you don't love yourselves
Too
enough.
much enough to be
You
able to.
don't think you're worthy. I don't know how many times I can spell it out
so
to you,
hard.
woman, you are beautiful, you're worthy.
Exactly.
If Brian doesn't see it, see it.
See it yourself.
See.
Stand in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm worthy, I'm beautiful, I know
am
who I
loved."
am, I am loved. Nobody else can love me than I do. Then out
you.
there, you're going to exude love.
You see,
Exactly.
the things you do in the frustration actually worsen the situation. This woman said, I have walked to every shrine, every witch doctor.
Shrine.
Yes.
They go as far as
They
that.
go as far as that.
Just
And then
man.
they've done things to her. There's one story, she said, this witch doctor put medicine on his thing, that he has to put it in me. The moment I sleep with my husband, he will not go to sleep with another man again.
You go to that extent. That's not loving
That's what I'm
yourself.
saying. The thing is, when you're dealing with it, first get to a place where everything you do to fight the situation is frustrating yourself. She said, I walked to every shrine, figuring out that was draining enough. Financial drain was even reached an extent of trying to get people knock her car, border guys scratch her car intentionally.
Because psychologically,
She's not
not
in her
in
mind.
the best mental state. And
That's
you,
it.
the husband,
You are
put
doing
her there.
nothing
Now,
about it.
you as a woman, most of the things actually, it's overthinking things. I did not leave you because you're not beautiful. I did not leave you because you're not.
You're just promiscuous.
Whatever happened in the process is okay. But what I'm trying to tell women who are already there, who have found themselves into a co-wife scenario,
Situation,
find peace to a level that he comes back and is not a point.
Yeah, he shouldn't. By the way,
at
he
him.
shouldn't be.
It's not a point.
It shouldn't be.
There's what we call, okay, this is a ratchet story, what we call fucking mind fucking. Put him in a place where he's like, when he expects a quarrel,
There's nothing.
serve him nothing.
And do you know how that works? When the two co-wives become best of friends.
How?
That mind
Yeah,
F's
that
a
is
man.
sad. Like, it's never really, I think it's...
Because a man
Yeah.
expects women are going to fight for him.
For him?
This one is going to struggle here, this one is going to fight here, and he will feel big because that is how his ego is
That's how
telling
he
him.
wants it to
That's
be.
how he wants it to be. But when you find these two women, like I said, I want to find out, who are you? What are your capabilities if you and I are working, your kids are going to be family.
Now-
They are going to be one.
now,
that alone
Abasajja-
just kills a man.
Abasajja Bajog. There's this story. This girl says, I did not know. I heard people say that my husband has children outside, but I did not know.
Right.
So one moment we were at a family function, big family function, and then we were in our, like, you know, our villages have neighbors' homes and they use them. So she was given a room somewhere with a few children, and then the next room was given to another person. So when the kids started walking out,
This one resembles the other.
they looked like their husband, didn't pay attention. Meanwhile, as they walked out together, the other kid, Daddy! It's like, Brian. For a moment, I just like, okay, wait a minute. Am I hearing right? So why I'm saying this, men also do things that make these women actually struggle. How do you know? You have children out there. You have your wife at a function. Bring the other wife at the same function and don't even let her know that there's somebody coming.
Unless she knows about them.
She
like in
doesn't
the
know.
Muslim setting, that is different.
For her, she doesn't know. She just phone kids calling her husband
But
daddy.
do you have any control over that?
No,
the
you don't.
kids are already here. What matters is your sanity, because at the end of it all, you're going to drain yourself. Your children will see how you're deteriorating. You're going to start coming up with illnesses, and then you die, and then you leave your kids. This man, these kids that you thought you would fight that woman are going to become stepchildren together, and they will be
And they
taken
will
in the other
always be
ones,
there.
and they will always be there. So knowing that the most important thing is your health, because anything small happens to the heart, and the heart carries a lot of things. So let your brain and your heart not communicate together, because when they do, they destroy who you are as a soul. So the most, because when these people are out there, the most important thing is know your man, because now you have known, oh, this is who he is. Let me tell
Well,
you.
in most cases, men, people will tell you that 60% or 80% of men will go out. Some of them will not throw it into your face because they know the repercussions of that.
Thank you.
Perhaps because they respect you a lot, they don't want you to see.
get
And really,
hurt.
that's how you men should be handling it. It becomes difficult for them if now they fall in love with these side people they have, because she's also a woman just like I am.
Yes.
In the end, again, I go back to self-love and knowing exactly who you are, because
you.
some of those problems that women are carrying are not your problems to
At
carry.
all.
Some of the
Blame,
burdens
blame.
that woman you're carrying are your husband's burdens to carry.
Thank
are
you.
you the one who slept outside?
No.
Are
And
those
I
children
said, yours?
Are you the one
No.
who? No.
Guess what?
Do you understand?
There is this biggest trouble I had.
Yeah.
This girl says my husband walks up one day and says they had a fight with the other woman.
And that is her problem.
And that is- and that
the
becomes-
end of the story is he wants to bring his children. I take care of the children. And then I told her. I told her. I told her, young woman, you're going to accept that at your own peril. First of all, there's not going to be any good stepmother. There is no good stepmother. So she said, the kids came. I was like, tell that man tomorrow, I want these children away from here.
Have you ever noticed that there are stepmothers who are good? It's
They're there.
The children are
that
to them.
make the stepmothers become
But my
evil.
issue is,
How do
you
you-
as a man and as a woman, stop accepting things.
Everything you accept.
That
Just
That's your
because,
space.
just because you
Close
want to
out.
hold on to this man.
Thank you.
If they are not sitting well with your spirit, by all means let them be.
Put
This
them on a
man
hang and leave.
goes out there, has children. These children have a mother.
Yes.
Why is he making you again? Because he has fought with the other woman.
Is it
Why are you accepting that?
In therapy, is what we call energy. You must create an energy around that is very positive. Because every time you look at that child, you're imagining all sorts of things.
That is
Thank you.
So ideally, as a co-wife, understand that whatever you're not going to be happy, don't uncomfortably
Don't
accept.
welcome
Don't
it.
put it
Don't
into
uncomfortably
you.
accept. Brian, I don't know if I refuse,
He might leave. Let him
let
leave.
him go because you're already going.
Aha, you already went anyway.
The problem that women have is fearing their husbands. A woman fears the partner too much that when the partner says later on,
Yeah, tata.
and at the end of yes, it's okay. Then there are those who will not even say anything. You will just see a man bringing the kids to you. You have seen women who go into a mode of they actually get sick and die.
Because
these kids have just been planted to her. Bano bana bange.
But now let me tell you, for me,
Mzee Sasule nyumba.
Ashley, you and I are raising children.
Uh-huh.
You know how much energy,
You are putting
emotional,
Everything.
you're investing a lot of
on
yourself.
each and every
Those are your children that you pushed. Then they bring you 5 more children. Do you know how emotionally
even
draining
start?
they are? Where does it start? If you're my man, and I know you have another woman, and she passes on, that's different. That is different. Now it's for us sitting
and
agreeing how are we going to raise.
Then the woman is
The
there.
woman is there. She's
Where the fight?
irresponsible.
Where the fight?
You want me like irresponsible
But
woman?
she cannot
I will take
stay at
those kids
home.
back.
Now you see,
Let her- let the
as
kids go
as
to the
women,
mother's
as women,
village or your village.
as women and as a man, there are things that you let your men do to you, and they are going to ride on that forever
Exactly.
and ever. Because as a woman, you are a receiver. As a receiver, you only have to get what you've accepted to receive.
Exactly.
If you
Thank
remove your bowel, no one is going to take advantage of you. A lot of women are in situations. There's this woman who came and said, Brian, this thing is disturbing. I know you want to believe it, but it's coming. My children we agreed with my husband because I have a bigger job.
Right.
We've been paying school fees
Right.
for the children, international school. So this guy goes gallivants, does have children elsewhere. This is what the guy came and told me. He said, Brian, the guy told me that we should reduce take my kids to a cheaper school so that we can accommodate his other side.
He's
Right.
not alone.
There's
There's a friend of mine whose husband came and said, "Abana bagala school fees eri ababo basoma." She has only 2 kids. This one has 5.
So she should also pay.
And you know what she did? She actually, when this woman came into her space and she saw she was going to be a thorn and she has money, she decided to build a home for this woman with her kids, built apartments and said, "Sente zonna zoyagala ne mukazi wo, pick that money from those properties."
From those properties.
Now,
Wow.
the properties are not bringing in money. The man comes, "Hey, your kids have almost finished school."
And she's accommodating that.
Now,
Are you serious?
the man has gone mad because she stopped. She said, "I'm not."
I mean, this guy did it in a way because he wasn't contributing a lot more money because the kids were in international school. So he has the whatever
The
balls
capability, yeah.
to come and tell, reduce,
Take them
take
to
them
a-
to normal schools because the other ones. Meanwhile, he hadn't even they had issues, big fights. He lost a job. Meanwhile, he wants the other guy. I told her, baby, that's your money. No one will kill you because you didn't pay
You
your
didn't
wife's
pay,
school fees.
yeah. But the thing is,
accept
why
that
put
craziness.
yourself in that position of disrespecting you? Why should you accept that? I know women are supposed to be, they say
Submissive.
But where does submissiveness stop? That is another topic that we should perhaps have.
Yes.
Yes, you should be submissive,
On
but
what?
up to what
It reminds me-
point?
Remember
But
that?
okay, submissiveness, now people have confused submissiveness to a level. Women submit to love, authority, and power. Not submitting to
To
pain.
disrespect?
Not
pain.
submitting to pain and disrespect and all kind of things.
Brian, this is to be continued. We are going to talk about the submissiveness. Where does it end?
I know.
In another Kachai. Thank you so much for being with us. God bless you. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kachai with Lucky. God bless you again. Be kind to one another.